Not 24 hours after a shootout between Manuel Rosales and police left him and Sergeant Paul Tuzzolo dead. Rosales' widow poured her heart out on Facebook, not to excuse his actions, but explain them, saying, "This is something that should have been prevented and could have been prevented time and time again. Manny should never have been on the street in the condition he was in." Tia Rosales says child abuse in her late husband's life plagued him with mental illness that could turn his usual kind character violent. She says, "I kept our child from Manny many times because I could never live with myself if I as a parent let my child grow up," repeating Manny's traumatic childhood. Tia had taken their son and was staying with family on Beach Avenue. That's where police were responding when Manuel showed up Friday and that fateful shootout ensued. Tia believes both deaths could have been avoided, claiming after Manuel's 17 arrests, the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office was aware of his condition mentally when he was arraigned for his last arrest. Instead of taking proper measure, a gross negligence occurred and he was released. The Suffolk County DA's office claims to have requested that bail be set to $20,000 in cash with no bond alternative at the defendant's arraignment, but say despite our bail request, the judge set a bail amount of $2,000 or $1,000 cash, which the defendant posted. Over at Manuel's father's home on Long Island, Manuel Rosales Sr. refused to go on camera, but painted a similar picture of his son, who he says was bipolar and was failed by the courts, but blames his daughter-in-law for causing Manuel's distress when she took their son away and went into hiding. Two deaths of two fathers whose lives were on two very different paths. But Tia, who loved Rosales even when she didn't feel safe living with him, believes had he been steered another way, he could have been something amazing. After speaking off camera with Tia all day, she tells me she does not want to go on camera until both her husband and the sergeant are laid to rest. As for Manuel's father, he tells CBS 2 that recently his son had been making threats of suicide by police. That's when someone intentionally engages in an altercation with officers with the intent to die. In the Van Ness section of the Bronx, Bauman, CBS 2 News.
Funeral arrangements for Sergeant Tuzzolo have been made public. His wake will be held on Wednesday afternoon and in the evening at Art Chappie and Sons Funeral Home in Bethpage. His funeral will be on Thursday morning at St. Rose of Lima Church in Massapequa.